Hi, my name is Rafaela Thomas from Sherbrooke campus, and I'm currently majoring in my BA in social psychology. And I personally picked the police department as my dream career choice. The reason why I think police officer on the reservation is more useful in psychology is because you're always dealing with people's outcomes and you have to be like first responders to engage. It also shows like leadership and you're always learning and training. And as a career as a police officer, you always you take an oath to serve and protect the general public. So that's kind of like more meaningful to have a career, knowing that you have to keep everybody in safety and you have to uphold the Navajo laws. So you have to have the general understanding how to engage with the public and knowing what's knowing the laws to uphold. Yeah, you always have to present your your department and if you want to be a police officer, you have to spend like your whole lifetime to work on the force and work your way to the ranks. So by doing that, it kind of gives you a deeper understanding why you want to be a police officer because there's like a lot more activities to do when you're in the law enforcement, especially if you're athletic and you like tactical lifestyle. It's like a best fit just to pick. Um, Also, you're always like the first call responder to emergency calls. As a police officer, that's what I always thought. They always out to protect and serve the people. And for the Navajo police, you have to advocate everybody that's on the reservation and and you have to the protect the people. Police usually use physical force to arrest and detain an individual, and the police enforce the tribal laws to detain an individual to custody and keep the community in peace. So that's kind of like an overall for a police officer. And and what it evolves on a daily basis is to keep the general population at at ease and they're safe, knowing that there's police officers around and they can call. Um, and you always know that you're going to be at the first responders to the community. Um, Also, there's other techniques that they can do is to learn investigate techniques. The more you're on the force, you can go onto the, the CI, the chemical investigation. Most likely on a daily basis, the police officer has to write reports, follow procedures, policies in the law enforcement. So you're always guided to do what's best for the department. Um, Also, being a police officer, you have to exposed to be in a hazard environment. Sometimes it's uncontrollable, where you have to demand um, demand more workforce to a situation. Sometimes it's life-threatening situation. But overall, being a police officer, I think it's just more of a mental, just mental advantage to be on top of your working. The career overview is like the the Navajo Nation Police Department work with other Navajo government officials, like working with the corrections, where they have to put the individual to the jail. And you have to book them in, wait for court. Sometimes if you're still out in the field, and you have to be with the police department or the fire department and the EMS. And with the law enforcement, you get to work with different um, settings, like traffic stops, going to the courthouse, speaking with the judge. Uh, you have to work with the prosecutor, probation officer, and it's just like an overall, you're like in the middle of like you're in the middle of everyone where they have to look up to you guys. And if you wanted to work as a police officer, you have to go through trainings that you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is to pass the peace officer standard and training. The post is like you have to do your written test and be physical, pass your physical. And other trainings that you can do is the firearm, the canine units where you can use the canines. There's drug and gang units where you can know your community more, and the SWAT is kind of like more demanding where you can go to do more active, um, more hazardous place to go to. The surfer water rescue unit is when um, you get to rescue people by the river because Mr. Brock, there's like people rafting most of the day. The missing person detective unit is the most interesting one because there's always um, people missing on the reservation, and on a daily basis, there's always like missing people coming up. And I always thought why people would be missing. And the Sonora unit pretty much is when people get released from prison and you have to update where they're tracking them where they're at. But there's a lot of stuff for law enforcement to get training on you can do. And and this is some photos that they can do. The firearming, the SWAT, K9. That's the three top ones that I think is more interesting. Why to pick up law enforcement. My personal perspective is that being in the law enforcement community is rewarding and it expands your education and continue to work on the reservation. It just shows you more leadership and like the possibilities of what you can do when you're on the reservation. And I think it's just more demanding. What motivates the job requirement is that you have to be physical and mentally fit for the job. Um, Always working long shift, knowing that you're gonna make doubles or working on holidays. Um, I think the one major one is how to write reports and properly filing it for every chemical complaint. So every call that you do, you have to summarize what you did. I think that's the most thing I can relate to be a police officer is doing the report writing. And every action that you do is always accountability, and you're always working with a sergeant, work your way. So my goals in future that impacts to be in law enforcement is it will make a difference in my lifestyle, and it would also make a difference knowing that your community is safe and if you're out and about. Shiprock's kind of like a small community where you're starting to know the schools and the stores, store clerks, and the teachers, and yeah, it's pretty small. So I kind of think it's like where will do make major difference for yourself. Um, Also, I think mm, just to make the community safe, I think I would advocate like more roadblocks uh, and knowing the community to know more of the modern laws that that they're that they want to impact for themselves. Uh, for my improvement in law enforcement, I think I would try to work. My goals is to rank the highest position, expanding my leadership skills, work working as a team. I think I always wanted to try to make lieutenant. Mm, And my future ideas improvement is to wait for the jail. They've been saying that they're gonna make a better facility. Um, so yeah, there's more stuff to do. Goals to be a police. The challenges that goes along with the law enforcement would be um, there are always hazardous, uncontrollable, life-threatening situation. They're exposed to armed robbery or high chase, uh, dealing with violence every day, dealing with complex social issue. You get to know people's behavior, how their negative emotions, because they have hidden trauma, and that would lead to frustration to anger, and you're the first one um, to de-escalate the situation. So, and you still have to be accountable. And I think, yeah, there's just like so much stuff to do. But for our icebreaker activity, right now we can take a break and get a piece of paper and a pencil and just and you're gonna draw a pig, any kind of pig you think, and you had 3 minutes to draw out your pig. So my pig is this. Oh, uh, yes, draw out your pig, and then it tells you about your personality, and the the clip is there for you to know. But always remember to call 911 or your police department. Your framework as a police officer, you have to think that caused the situation and the reason why it happened and what you had to do to control the environment and a complex social issue. So you're kind of like the first thing to judge on people or judge yourself how to deal handle the situation. Uh, and and hopefully I do have this dream career I always thought with it. I I just have like few ex- um, a few have like a few work experience with this. I was like a um and there's like another survey that we're gonna do. It's like who would win the prize to complete all five at the end of the presentation, and then you can probably get a prize. But one is like if your family is in law enforcement, what's the mindset of a police officer? What can you read the radio code? Who name if you can name the badge on the next slide. See if you're ready for be a police officer as well. And here's one of the patches that there is. So I kind of got like 2 patches out of 3. Hopefully I can gain this the police department. But overall, yeah, thank you for coming and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.